What if I told you that the very breakfast you eat every single morning could be the silent reason you're growing weaker day by day, without even realizing it? Or let me put it even more directly, aging itself is not what's stealing your strength. The real enemy is sitting right there, on your breakfast table. Here in the United States, adults over 60 now make up more than 20% of the population. Yet most people accept muscle loss, slower movement, and declining strength as just a normal part of getting older. According to the NIH and Mayo Clinic, over 45% of adults in this age group are affected by sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, without ever receiving a diagnosis. But here's the truth. Losing strength isn't an inevitable sentence. It often starts with what's on your plate, especially your first meal of the day. You see, hidden inside every morning is a powerful biological switch. If you flip it the right way, your body can actually reverse muscle loss and rebuild strength in as little as 24 hours. And no, this isn't some trendy supplement or miracle hack. This is the power of nutritional science and your body's own circadian rhythm working together. In today's video, I'll share insights from decades of research and clinical experience on aging here in the US. You're going to learn why most older adults are unknowingly sabotaging their strength with common breakfast habits, the 5 key nutritional triggers that activate muscle building after 60, hidden mistakes that quietly accelerate muscle loss, and finally, a practical breakfast formula I use with my own patients to help them regain strength and energy. If you stay with me until the end, you'll understand why a single change to your morning routine can transform your vitality in just a few short weeks. Before we begin, let me ask you something. How old are you, and what do you usually eat for breakfast? Share your answer in the comments below. My team and I read every message and do our best to respond personally. Thank you for joining us here on Senior Health Tips and Healthy Aging. Let's get started. Number 5 on our list is something most people completely overlook. We tend to think that exercise is the main driver of strong muscles. But the truth is, one of the most powerful muscle-building moments of your entire day happens when you're just sitting down to breakfast. I know, that might sound surprising, but let me explain. Every morning, your body wakes up in a kind of ready mode. After hours of rest, your muscles are primed to absorb nutrients and build themselves back up. Scientists call this the anabolic window. Think of it like opening a garage door. For a short period after you wake up, your body throws that door wide open, waiting for the right kind of fuel to start building. And the key ingredient here is protein, especially an amino acid called leucine. Once you pass age 60, your muscles don't respond quite as easily as they used to. Research shows that older adults need about 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein at breakfast, along with enough leucine to really switch on the muscle-building machinery. If you don't give your body what it needs in that crucial morning window, that garage door quietly closes, and you miss your best chance of the day to build strength. Here's where many people unintentionally go wrong. A typical breakfast might look like a cup of coffee with cream and sugar, maybe a sweet pastry, or a quick bowl of cereal. It feels light, easy, and familiar, but nutritionally, it's like trying to build a house with no bricks. There's not nearly enough protein, and the sugar rush can actually block some of the muscle-building signals your body is trying to send. Compare that to a breakfast with eggs, Greek yogurt, or smoked salmon, maybe a handful of nuts, or a slice of whole-grain toast. That kind of meal tells your muscles, all right, let's get to work. I remember one of my patients, a 72-year-old woman named Margaret. She came into my clinic complaining that climbing stairs was becoming harder each month. She wasn't sick, she stayed fairly active, but she always skipped protein in the morning. Together we redesigned her breakfast: 2 eggs, a little cottage cheese, and a few blueberries on the side. That was it. 4 weeks later, she told me she felt steadier on her feet, and she'd even started walking farther without feeling winded. We didn't give her supplements or a gym membership, just changed her morning meal. There's another hidden factor too. Insulin and cortisol, your body's natural morning hormones. Right after waking, cortisol levels rise, which actually helps mobilize energy. Pairing this with a protein-rich breakfast stabilizes insulin and sends a powerful go signal to your muscles. It's like flipping a switch inside your body. You set the tone for the entire day, not just for your energy, but for how your muscles repair and grow. Understanding why breakfast matters is the first step. Once you grasp this, the rest becomes a lot easier. So now, let's talk about exactly what kinds of foods can turn that switch on and help you build real strength after 60. Number 4 on our countdown is all about choosing the right kind of protein, because here's the thing. Not all protein works the same way inside your body. Some types act like a tiny spark, giving your muscles just a little nudge. But others? They light up the system like headlights on a dark road, sending a clear, strong signal that says, "It's time to build." Let's break it down into 4 powerful groups that do the heavy lifting for you. First up, eggs. They're simple, affordable, and incredibly effective. One egg gives you about 6 grams of high-quality protein, but what makes them so special is their leucine content. Leucine is the amino acid that flips the muscle-building switch, especially in older adults. Scrambled, boiled, poached, however you like them, eggs deliver a clean, concentrated dose that your muscles can actually use. Second, fermented dairy. Think Greek yogurt, kefir, or cottage cheese. These aren't just good for your gut, they're protein powerhouses. Fermentation helps make the protein easier to digest, which is a big deal as we age, and digestion slows down. Plus, these foods come with probiotics that support overall health, which indirectly helps your body build and repair muscle more efficiently. A cup of Greek yogurt in the morning can easily give you 15–20 grams of protein, along with calcium and other nutrients your muscles love. Third, fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and trout. These fish don't just provide top-tier protein, they also bring along omega-3 fatty acids, which actually boost your muscles' ability to respond to protein. That means when you pair omega-3s with leucine-rich protein, your muscle cells listen more closely. Grilled, baked, or even canned, fish is a smart, heart-healthy way to keep your strength up. And fourth, lean meats. Chicken breast, turkey, lean beef. These classics are still among the best protein sources around. They're dense in leucine and give you a steady, complete amino acid profile. The key is to keep the cooking gentle. Overcooking meat can degrade some amino acids, including leucine, so quick grilling, light sautéing, or baking at moderate heat is best. Now, why all this focus on leucine? Because leucine is like the ignition key for muscle protein synthesis. Without enough of it, your body can have plenty of protein floating around, but it won't start the engine. A Harvard study published in 2022 highlighted this exact point. Older adults who consumed leucine-rich foods saw significantly better muscle retention and strength compared to those who didn't, even when total protein intake was the same. It's not just the amount of protein that matters, it's the quality and type. Here's a little insider tip most people don't know. Leucine isn't only found in animal products. There are hidden plant-based sources too, like pumpkin seeds and fermented soy. Think tempeh or natto. A small handful of roasted pumpkin seeds can give you a surprising boost of leucine, and fermented soy offers a double benefit: protein plus improved absorption. These are fantastic options if you want variety or prefer a more plant-forward diet. And one more thing: how you prepare your food matters. Leucine can be sensitive to high heat, so gentle cooking helps preserve it. Scrambling eggs on medium heat instead of blasting the pan, lightly baking fish instead of frying, or steaming lean meats can make a real difference. Choosing the right proteins isn't just about meeting your daily numbers. It's about sending your muscles the clearest, strongest signal possible. Once you get that part right, your body is ready. But here's the catch. Protein alone won't get the job done. If you want your body to truly build, you need the next piece of the puzzle. Number 3 is all about something most people don't even realize matters this much. Your insulin in the morning. It might sound a little technical, but stay with me, because this one small shift can make the difference between your body absorbing the protein you eat, or simply letting it slip by, unused. Here's how it works. Think of insulin as a kind of key. Its job isn't just to regulate blood sugar, it also helps transport amino acids, the building blocks of protein, into your muscle cells. When insulin levels are balanced, it's like the doors to your muscles swing open wide, ready to receive what you feed them. But when insulin spikes too high, too fast, or crashes right after, those doors can slam shut. Suddenly, all that protein from your breakfast can't get where it needs to go. And unfortunately, many older adults in the US start their day with breakfasts that accidentally lock those doors. Picture the classic, quick and easy morning. A bowl of sugary cereal, maybe a slice of toast, and a glass of orange juice. It feels light and healthy, right? But here's the catch. This combo is loaded with simple carbs that digest almost instantly. Your blood sugar rises sharply, insulin shoots up to catch it, and within a short time, you've set yourself up for a crash. Your muscles get a confusing signal. Build mode. Then suddenly, stop. Let's compare that to a different kind of breakfast. Imagine a plate with 2 eggs, some sautéed spinach, and a small bowl of plain oatmeal with chopped nuts on top. The difference is dramatic. The protein from the eggs starts muscle protein synthesis. The healthy fats and fiber from the vegetables and nuts slow digestion, and the complex carbs from the oatmeal give a gentle, steady rise in blood sugar. Not a spike. Insulin stays stable like a steady hand on a dimmer switch, not flipping the lights on and off. This is the environment your muscles love. One of the simplest, most practical tricks is this. Eat your protein first, and your carbs after. It might sound almost too easy, but studies consistently show that the order in which you eat matters. When you start with protein, your blood sugar response is calmer. Insulin rises gradually, and your body becomes more efficient at absorbing nutrients. By the time you get to the carbs, your system is already in a more balanced state, which means less chance of those door-slamming spikes. I remember a patient of mine, a 68-year-old man living with type 2 diabetes. For years, he'd followed the typical advice: low-fat, heart-healthy cereal, a banana, and juice every morning. His blood sugar would swing wildly before lunchtime, and no matter how much protein he added later in the day, his muscle mass just kept declining. We switched his breakfast completely. Eggs with vegetables, a serving of Greek yogurt, and a small portion of steel-cut oats eaten last. Within 6 weeks, his fasting blood sugar stabilized. More interestingly, his muscle mass actually started to increase for the first time in years. His energy was steadier, he wasn't starving by mid-morning, and his workouts felt easier. All we did was open the muscle doors back up by controlling that insulin surge in the morning. Stabilizing insulin isn't about cutting out every carb or making breakfast complicated. It's about setting the stage so that the nutrients you eat actually work for you. When your insulin is steady, your muscles are open, receptive, and ready to build. And once that door is open, you can finally start laying down the strong foundation you need. Because building muscle isn't just about protein and insulin, it's about the base you build it on. Number 2 is something most people don't see because it doesn't make noise. It doesn't hurt like a pulled muscle or scream for your attention. But it's there, quietly working against you every single day. I'm talking about chronic inflammation. That slow, steady fire inside the body that can either support muscle growth or quietly tear it down. Here's the thing. You can eat the cleanest protein, do all the right exercises, and even stabilize your insulin beautifully. But if your body is constantly inflamed, your muscles are basically trying to grow in a hostile environment. It's like planting seeds in dry, cracked soil. You can water them, give them sunlight, but they just won't thrive. Inflammation isn't always bad. In fact, short bursts of it are essential. When you work out, for example, your muscles get tiny tears, and inflammation is part of the healing process that makes them stronger. But chronic, low-grade inflammation is different. It's like a small campfire that someone forgot to put out. It just keeps smoldering, day after day. Over time, this constant burn interferes with muscle protein synthesis, the very process your body uses to build new muscle tissue. Studies from places like Mayo Clinic have shown that chronic inflammation is strongly linked to sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle. In 2020, they highlighted that older adults with higher inflammatory markers, especially CRP, C-reactive protein, tend to lose muscle faster, even if they're eating well. It's not just what goes into your stomach, but also the state your body is in when it receives it. The good news? You have powerful tools sitting right in your kitchen. Some foods are like natural firefighters. They calm the flames, help your muscles recover better, and create the kind of internal environment where growth can actually happen. Think about omega-3 fatty acids, found in fatty fish like salmon or sardines. These aren't just healthy fats. They literally signal your body to turn down inflammatory pathways, making it easier for your muscles to repair. Or take turmeric, that golden spice that's been used for centuries. It contains curcumin, a compound with impressive anti-inflammatory effects. Pair it with a pinch of black pepper, and you boost its absorption dramatically. Then there's ginger, warming and soothing, known to ease inflammation in both joints and muscles. Cinnamon helps steady blood sugar while quietly lowering inflammatory markers. And a simple cup of green tea in the morning brings a wave of antioxidants that can help cool the fire before it spreads. Here's a simple, practical trick I often share with my patients. Add just 1 or 2 anti-inflammatory ingredients to your breakfast. It doesn't have to be complicated. Sprinkle cinnamon on your oatmeal. Stir turmeric and ginger into a warm tea or smoothie. Add chia seeds or a bit of flax oil for extra omega-3s. These small changes build up over time, creating a morning routine that doesn't just feed your body, it supports it. I'll never forget a patient of mine, a 74-year-old retired carpenter. His CRP levels were consistently high, and he was frustrated because no matter what he ate, his energy stayed low, and his muscles just wouldn't bounce back after workouts. We made one small change: a breakfast shake with Greek yogurt, turmeric, flaxseed, and cinnamon. Within 8 weeks, his inflammation markers dropped noticeably. But more importantly, he felt the difference. Less stiffness, better recovery, more strength climbing stairs. Reducing inflammation isn't about going on a restrictive diet or chasing the latest miracle supplement. It's about giving your body the environment it needs to do what it's designed to do: heal, grow, and stay strong. And once that fire is under control, your muscles finally have room to breathe, to rebuild and thrive. But there's still one final key piece to put it all together. Number 1 is something most people never even think about. Yet it's happening inside you every single second of the day. It's quiet, powerful, and if you know how to nurture it, it can completely change how strong, energetic, and resilient your body feels. I'm talking about your mitochondria, the tiny power plants inside your cells that literally keep you moving. Every muscle contraction, every step you take, every time you lift a bag of groceries or climb a set of stairs, your mitochondria are the ones providing the energy to make that happen. Think of them as millions of tiny factories, turning nutrients into pure, usable power. When these factories are strong and abundant, your muscles feel alive. You recover faster, you have better stamina, and daily activities feel smoother. But when mitochondrial function starts to decline, something that naturally happens with age, you may notice your energy dipping, your strength fading faster, and your recovery slowing down. Here's the hopeful part. You can actually grow and strengthen your mitochondria. Yes, even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. Scientists call this mitochondrial biogenesis, basically building new factories and upgrading the old ones. And the tools to make this happen aren't exotic or complicated. One of the most powerful boosters? Polyphenols, natural compounds found in foods like berries, green tea, dark chocolate, and even certain spices. These act almost like gentle stress signals to your cells, nudging them to make more mitochondria. Think of it like a friendly coach tapping the factory workers on the shoulder saying, "Hey, let's step it up a notch." A handful of blueberries in your morning oatmeal or a warm cup of green tea can actually stimulate mitochondrial growth over time. Then there's CoQ10, a compound your body makes naturally but produces less of as you age. CoQ10 is like the spark plug that keeps those mitochondrial engines running smoothly. Adding foods rich in CoQ10, like fatty fish, organ meats, or even supplements under your doctor's guidance, can give your cells the boost they need to stay efficient. Carnitine is another quiet hero. It helps shuttle fatty acids into mitochondria, where they're turned into energy. Without enough carnitine, it's like having trucks full of fuel waiting outside the factory gates but no one to unload them. Lean meats and dairy can help supply this vital nutrient. And of course, high-quality protein is essential. Not just for building muscle, but for supporting the entire cellular structure that keeps your mitochondria thriving. Research from the NIH has shown that maintaining healthy mitochondria is one of the key factors in preserving muscle mass and strength as we age. Older adults with more efficient mitochondrial activity tend to stay more active, recover faster, and even live longer, healthier lives. Here's a simple morning strategy. Try adding one polyphenol-rich food to your breakfast every day. Maybe it's a cup of green tea instead of juice, or topping your yogurt with mixed berries and a sprinkle of cinnamon. These small, consistent choices create a nurturing environment for your mitochondria, encouraging them to grow stronger over time. And perhaps the most inspiring part is this: it's never too late. Your mitochondria respond at any age. I've seen people in their 70s and 80s regain energy they thought was gone for good, simply by giving these tiny powerhouses the support they need. So yes, building muscle isn't just about what you eat or how you move. It's about reigniting the energy factories within you. When those are running well, everything else, strength, endurance, vitality, falls beautifully into place. Here's a little secret that often gets overlooked. Protein is the raw material, but movement is the building permit. You can eat the perfect breakfast, packed with all the right nutrients, but if you stay completely still afterward, your body doesn't get the full go-ahead signal to build and strengthen muscle. You don't need a fancy gym or intense workouts. In fact, for most older adults, the best kind of activity is gentle, consistent, and enjoyable. A 10-15-minute walk around the neighborhood, some light stretches in the living room, or a few rounds of sit-to-stand exercises using a sturdy chair. These small moves can make a surprisingly big difference. They boost blood flow, activate your muscles, and send a powerful message to your body. Hey, we're using this. Let's build. Research has shown that combining a protein-rich breakfast with light activity afterward amplifies muscle protein synthesis far more than either one alone. It's like turning up the volume on your body's growth signal. Your muscles become more responsive to the nutrients you just gave them, and your metabolism gets a gentle, natural lift for the rest of the day. I think of one of my patients, a 70-year-old woman who started adding a short post-breakfast walk every day. Nothing extreme, just slow, steady steps around her block. After 6 weeks, not only did her leg strength improve, but she noticed she wasn't as tired in the afternoons, and her mood lifted too. Her lab results even showed healthier blood sugar patterns. Small actions, repeated consistently, create real change. Pairing good nutrition with light movement is like handing your body both the materials and the blueprint to build strength that lasts. Your body isn't just a machine. It runs on a rhythm, your own internal clock. And when your habits flow in sync with that rhythm, everything works better, including how your muscles grow and recover. One of the simplest ways to support this is by timing breakfast right. Eating your first meal within 1 to 2 hours after waking sends a clear signal to your body. It's daytime, let's get moving. It wakes up your metabolism, steadies your energy, and sets the stage for better protein use throughout the day. On the flip side, loading most of your protein late at night can actually work against you. While a light protein snack before bed can support recovery, making dinner the biggest protein feast often throws off your natural hormone cycles, leaving your body playing catch-up when it should be resting and repairing. And then there's sleep and light, the quiet but powerful partners in this equation. Getting enough natural light during the day helps keep your circadian rhythm anchored, while consistent, high-quality sleep at night allows your muscles to rebuild properly. A Harvard study on circadian rhythm in 2023 found that aligning meal timing, light exposure, and sleep could improve muscle protein synthesis by as much as 25% in older adults. It's not about making drastic changes. It's about gentle alignment, small shifts that help your body do what it's already designed to do, just more efficiently. When your meals, light, and rest work together, you're not pushing against the current anymore. You're finally flowing with it. Let's take a moment to look back at the journey we've just shared, starting from recognizing those small, often overlooked breakfast mistakes, to step-by-step unlocking the simple keys that help rebuild strength from the inside out. You've seen why a protein-rich breakfast matters, how steadying insulin can open the door for muscle growth, how reducing silent inflammation creates the right environment, how supporting your mitochondria fuels your energy, and finally, how syncing with your body's natural rhythm ties it all together. Each piece may seem small on its own, but when they fit together, they create a powerful, living picture of active health after 60. The beautiful truth is this: age doesn't decide your strength or vitality. Your daily choices do. Each morning is like a fresh canvas. A balanced breakfast, a short, gentle walk, a night of good sleep. These simple habits become quiet acts of self-care that ripple through the rest of your day, and eventually shape your future. If today's insights resonated with you, give this video a like, share it with someone who might need it, or drop your questions in the comments below so we can keep this conversation going. Your question might be exactly what someone else out there needs to hear. And don't miss the next video. I'll be sharing 3 powerful strategies to maintain strong muscles even when you can't exercise much. These are simple, practical tips that most people overlook, but they can make a real difference. I can't wait to see you there. This journey is just getting started.